Government gets an ultimatum from hunger striker Dr.Wayne saying meet 3 conditions or he won't stop. On day 20 of the environmental activist's self-imposed fast from food and drink, and a day after the Joint Consultative Council negotiated an agreement with government on his behalf, Dr. remains unconvinced of a respite in the plan for the Debe-to-Mondesi section of the highway to Point Fortin under construction. It's now a race against time as his health slowly fails and his life remains in peril.
The energy from the fusion music being transferred to an otherwise despondent Dr. And having reviewed the outcome of the meeting of the government, JCC and civil society, Dr. has adopted his stance on the resolution talks. And although pleased that there has been progress, he's not yet ready to give up on the pending shutdown of his body.
Work will continue on sites of the contractor, of the highway release to the contractor. We cannot accept that at all. So they have more work to do on this. The government and the JCC and other bodies have more work to do on this. We want this to read all work between Mondesi and Debe, including the interchanges, must be stopped while the review committee continues its work. Do you understand that?
Although a bit slurred, he is very clear on the other 2 conditions. That a cost-benefit analysis be done, so to a social impact assessment and a hydrological report. He's also adamant that members of the Debe-to-Mondesi community and the highway route movement be allowed to make written and oral submissions to the review committee. Even though he has been calling for the word of the Prime Minister, he's somewhat appeased by the method of negotiation.
The Prime Minister himself was on the phone much of the time to members of the Ministry of Works. So we can safely say that she has agreed to this. Now it's a framework.
And while there is optimism on the side of negotiations and much mental strength, the hardware that is his body is grinding to a halt.
Most notably is the blood pressure, which is now going down steadily right now. So the pulse pressure is quite low, which is the difference between the systolic and the diastolic, which means that the heart is pumping even slower and there's not as much perfusion to the entire body. So again, we're cutting down on peripheral circulation, trying to save the main organs.
But there's still optimism from his family.
Very well, thanks. With the strength of the Almighty, as I said before, but is never reported, that part, we have to always recognize that God is in charge. And also seeing his own strength, my husband's strength, that keeps me going. And he is going to keep alive and will continue to work as he has done in the past, true to himself.
Dr. says he will be returning for day 21 of his hunger strike. Jabari Fraser, TV6 News.